space, I'm expecting the media to cover the entire spectrum of arts, tourism, and culture, and add maybe sprinkle the chieftaincy affairs on top of it. But it looks like the media is now too concentrated on showbiz, fashion, music, dance, fashion, music. So people go for parties. People's parties are now seen as news. You go online, especially the bloggers.
That's right.
And then somebody's birthday party, and we are reporting somebody's birthday party. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that, but beyond those, what is policy saying? For instance, if the Minister of Tourism, Arts and Culture is before the appointment committee, the accounts committee of Parliament, and giving an account of how our monies are spent and what they are using, I'm expecting journalists to be interested. I'm expecting journalists to hit the ground, go and see what is happening. You don't sit in Accra for somebody to travel to Boga to do a certain story on tourism, then you pick it and put it. You don't even credit the person. That doesn't promote tourism. Someone like Weara, the way she dresses, who has sat down with her, gone to her hometown, and then learned about her culture so that we report her properly. I'm just using her for example, because you go to her shows, maybe in the West, she'll be wearing some calabash to cover her top, and she's wearing some raffia. How do we explain this to somebody who does not understand that kind of dressing so that she wouldn't be seen as a nudist?
On that point, William, and I've had the occasion to meet with Riala. She's been on the Lady Circle, and in doing my research ahead of time, I did find a lot of articles where she talks about her clothing style. So it has been explored. She says she designs her clothes herself.
And but so you did the research. And I like that.
Yes,
because you did the research.
I did, and I found that she has been vocal, and people have been asking her. So sometimes, and like you say, if there's a centralized point for us to get this information, we won't be so disjointed. Sometimes the filler is there, the intel is there, but you really have to search for it. But it's so hidden.
Why wouldn't you, as a journalist, want to do research before you do your story? It is a given. You cannot do a good story without reading around the subject. When you go and meet the individual, what questions are you going to ask the person when you don't have the knowledge?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. We should take our time and look at the industry, because if you are in the space of arts, tourism, and culture, and this is why around 2005, a couple of friends and Deborah, Safon Cancer, myself, we came together to form the Arts and Tourism Writers Association of Ghana, because we realized that during our time when it was just conventional media, newspaper, radio, and TV, there was no internet. You couldn't get any information just by sitting in. You had to go to the field. But now we realize that those who are coming into the space, it is no fault of theirs that, they have social media, but we needed to strengthen their hands so that they could write and write well. But the speed and the trends sometimes don't encourage them to want to do research and do stories that cover the sector. They want stories that will go get the trends, get their money and stuff.
And that's why, William, as you mentioned this morning, some even traditional media houses fall short because they are competing with the speed.
Exactly. So even who we used to call bloggers are now coming down to paparazzi. Even if you say a blogger, somebody who is concentrating on a certain space and giving you in-depth insights on a certain, for instance, if you pick somebody who is a blogger on spectacles,
that's their expertise.
And look at it. Exactly. Because that's what he blogs. But now if you talk about a blogger, they are all doing the same thing, they are all following the same people, and Ghana, we don't have too many celebrities.
That's true.
So for me, it's becoming boring, because at the end of the day, you look at this man's page, it's the same thing here, it's the same thing there, it's the same thing here. You don't get anybody doing anything differently. And I'm saying that there are a lot of areas that our writers can explore. And even are they writers? Because you see, they just take their camera, run it over somebody, and then just commenting. And even the commenting is problematic. Because as a city, I've done research into some of the blogs and the captions they write. And I have about 298 of those on my laptop that I want to run some masterclass on. Because, for instance, a church building was being commissioned on the Sprinters Road.
Right.
And this blogger says, so and so arriving at the consecration of the church. Consecration.
Hey.
Yes, the word he doesn't understand. He has heard it. He has used it because there's no editor, there's no proofreader. He is the editor. He's the proofreader. He's the writer.
Editor-in-chief. Everything.
And you see, as they shoot, they blog, they write, and it is a skill. Writing, you don't know, you can't give what you don't have.
That's right.
And so I'm saying that when we want to promote tourism, it's not a joke. So we need tourism writers, we need music writers, we need fashion writers, we need film writers. Where are they? We don't have them. And it's a fact.
That is
because
true.
You can't see. Look, I worked with a certain gentleman called Nana Benyi Datsun. He was the editor of the daily, the show, Graphic Showbiz.
In fact, I know Nana Aben. He wrote a book recently, capturing the happenings in entertainment space, and that's his expertise.
Yes,
and he's good at what he does.
Yes, he went to the University of Ghana to do fine arts. He writes, and you read him, and it's encouraging.
Yeah,
we are losing them because look, with the advent of social media, everybody can enter that space. Willie TV, Helen TV, Kofi TV, Ama TV, Ajua TV, and we are moving. But those days, how dare you come
just
on
get
air?
Up and say?
People were suspended for mispronouncing names. The radio stations and TV stations had units where you, the reporter, you have to get a script. If you are not familiar with any word, you go and see the experts. They will teach you how to pronounce the names of towns.
Important.
Sakra Wonu. You don't come and mention it. It's Huni Valley. They say Honey Valley.
Listen, some of us are falling.
No, it's not your fault because the systems are changing and it's not changing for the best. Because you cannot say Huni Valley when it's you can't say Honey Valley when it's Huni Valley. So these are some of the things that we need to check.
I think one day, William, we should bring Nana Aben inside, and that book he put together a wealth of information chronicling our awards system and all of that. Very interesting. It would be lovely
He directed
to get that.
a lot of shows. He directed a lot of concerts. So